Hi there, people. So, my name is Ax and I'm an instant healing hypnotherapist. And in today's video, I have an extremely interesting topic. In this video, I'm going to teach you guys how you can understand your relationship pattern. But more than that, you would be able to read anyone's relationship pattern and you can tell what happened in their past, what's happening in their present, and what is going to happen in their future. And it's going to be really interesting. Now, first of all, let me tell you that I can look at someone and I can instinctively tell what happened in their past, what's happening in their present, and what's going to happen in future. And I can also tell what kind of decision this person is going to make under what circumstances and what this person will do in any given situation, because I will be able to read their subconscious mind and their patterns. And this is really precise, guys. I have used this technique on so many people and they had their jaw-dropping moment like, how do you know so much about my life? So this is really accurate. So hang around and let's learn how to do it. First, we need to understand what is relationship pattern. Now, to put it simply, to understand what a relationship pattern is, you need to observe what are the common feelings that you have always felt in every relationship. So what are those feelings that are a part of your relationship dynamics? And to understand this, we need to look at how your past relationship were. So you need to observe what happened in your past relationship. How did those relationships end? And how did they make you feel? And that will give you a very in-depth analysis about what kind of feelings you come across very often in all your relationships. And that's where we can understand what kind of relationship pattern do you have. Now, to further understand what patterns are, the basic of any relationship pattern is what are you really familiar with? Because if you observe, these feelings are something that you are really familiar with. You come across these feelings in every relationship, such as if you feel insecure in relationships, that shows that you have a pattern of being in relationships where you feel insecure. So that means you are subconsciously really familiar with this feeling of insecurity. And if you are really subconsciously familiar with this feeling of insecurity, that gives me a very great insight inside your subconscious mind. Now I can tell what happened in your past. Now, how can I tell what happened in your past? Now, we need to first of all understand something really important. And I have said this in a lot of my videos. So if you have been watching my content for a while, you know where this conversation is heading. Our subconscious mind develops between the ages of 1 to 9. Now, that is the period in our life when our subconscious mind develops familiarity with different emotions. And our very first relationship in this life is with our parents. Now, the role of a father and the role of a mother influences a child in very different ways. Now, what we need to understand is between these ages, what is the influence of a father and what is the influence of a mother. This will help us analyze what kind of subconscious familiarity do we have. Now, the role of a father helps the child develop 5 traits, and I want you to write these down: self-esteem, self-worth, self-confidence, self-respect, and sense of identity. Now, these 5 traits are a direct influence of a father. Now, if that relationship was balanced, you're going to have these 5 traits balanced inside your subconscious mind. So you will be really familiar with these 5 traits being balanced. So that means in all your relationships in future, you would have these 5 traits as part of your relationship, so you would never feel insecure. However, if between the ages of 1 to 9, your relationship with your father wasn't great, or if there was as little as one single moment where your subconscious mind felt an emotional disconnect with your father, as a result of that, these 5 traits will not be balanced. And if they are not balanced, that means that either these traits are in excess, so you might be someone who is overconfident, who overimposes their self-worth, who overimposes their sense of identity, and etc. Or if they are in deficit, you would always feel that lack of self-confidence, lack of self-worth, lack of self-esteem, lack of self-confidence, and lack of sense of identity. And you would be really familiar with these kind of dynamics. And as a result of that, you will always come across relationship in your adult life where these 5 traits, being in deficit or in excess, are a theme of your relationship. Now, if you observe, this is what subconscious familiarity means, and this is how it develops. Now, let's talk about the mother figure. Now, the role of a mother helps the child develop 5 traits as well. Now, these 5 traits are empathy, expression of love, nurturing, creativity, and spirituality. Now, these 5 traits are influenced by a mother figure. And if your relationship with your mother between the ages of 1 to 9 wasn't that great, or if there was any kind of mother wound, these 5 traits would either be in excess or in deficit. It depends upon everyone's subconscious mind whether they are in excess or in deficit. So, in case if they are in excess or if they are in deficit, you are going to build that subconscious familiarity with those dynamics. So that means going forward in your life, you will come across relationship where these 5 traits would either be in excess or in deficit, such as if these traits are in excess inside of you, you will come across relationships in your life where you are obsessed with your partner. You overly nurture your partner, doing more and more to get their validation. Or you might be someone who overly expresses their love or needs a lot of reassurance in your relationships. Now, what we need to actually understand is the 5 traits that are associated with the mother and the 5 traits that are associated with the father. Now, if you understand the influence of a father and a mother on the subconscious mind, now you can read everyone really precisely. And it takes as little as listening to what they're saying. So when they're speaking, do you sense that they have self-confidence, self-worth, self-respect, self-esteem, and sense of identity? Do you feel like it's balanced, or they are someone who are really insecure about these 5 parts, or they are overly imposing their sense of identity? The moment I assess these 5 traits inside a particular person, I already know what their subconscious familiarity is. And if I can tell what their subconscious familiarity is, I already know what happened in their past. So they probably have some kind of a father wound, or they might be experiencing relationships in their life where they are coming across people who treat them in the same manner. The same goes for the mother figure. When you're communicating with someone, you can just sense if this particular person has empathy or sense of nurturing, or they express their love towards people, and you can just tell, like, if this particular person has empathy in excess or in deficit, that means they have some kind of mother wound between the ages of 1 to 9. And now you can just predict what's happening in their relationships and what's going to happen in their relationships in future. However, we also need to understand that this is their subconscious mind map. And if we can understand someone's subconscious mind map, we can predict their actions in future or in any given situation. Such as, if someone has a particular father wound that makes all the 5 traits that are influenced by the father in deficit, I know this person will fall for products that play on people's insecurity, because those are the dynamics that this particular person is really familiar with. So they would be attracted towards products that play on your insecurity. You see, I can predict each and everything about a particular person in any given situation. So this is so precise. Now, subconscious familiarity is something that will always tell you what a person is about to do. People do not operate outside their pattern. Whatever their subconscious pattern is, they will always attract people, places, and situations that they are really familiar with. So their pattern is predictable. Now, if you believe in science, this is the science for you. But if you also believe in spiritual science, I'll tell you something really important about spiritual science. Now, if you observe law of attraction, law of vibration, law of resonance, law of assumption, each and every spiritual practice talks about how you can manifest things into your life. But if you understand the core principle of all the spiritual science practices, you're going to understand something really important. It all comes down to your subconscious familiarity, because all of these spiritual science practices preach about if you want to attract something into your life, you need to start feeling like you already have it. That means we're talking about subconscious familiarity. This is the reason all these different spiritual science practices actually work out for everyone if you know precisely how to do them. And this also shows that we always attract what we feel inside. But we're not talking about the conscious aspect of your mind. We're talking about the subconscious aspect. So what we're talking about is not just your neurological state, we're talking about your predominant neurological state. And your predominant neurological state is developed between the ages of 1 to 9, as I mentioned earlier. So if you can change your predominant neurological state, and by that I mean if you can change your familiarity with your past, you can change your present and you can change your future, because your subconscious mind works on familiarity. So it's always going to attract you toward people, places, and situations that you are really familiar with. Now, this is how I often read people. You can just observe a particular person's body language, or even the way they speak, or what sort of perspective they have, and you can just instinctively tell, like, all right, this particular person has this particular pattern, so that's what's going to happen in their relationships, that's what happened in their past, and that's what's going to happen in their future. This is how easy it is to read people. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to look back into your past and observe the relationships that you have come across in your life. And I want you to analyze what kind of emotions have you felt, which are quite common between all your relationships. And you will be able to understand your relationship pattern. Because once you understand what happened between the ages of 1 to 9 and the role of each of the parents and the influence that they had on your subconscious mind, you will instantly know what kind of relationship pattern do you have. And I use this with a lot of my clients' analysis. So this is a really precise method. And this is one of the reasons I have 100% success ratio with all my clients. Each and every client that takes my 15 days instant healing program, they have 100% success ratio, because we start healing whatever happened between the ages of 1 to 9. Now, if that is something that interests you guys, you can sign up for my 15 days instant healing program, and the process is very simple. All you have to do is just, first of all, you need to sign up for a free mini therapy session with me. My team will assess your application, and if they feel like we are a good fit, we will have that particular free mini therapy session where I will analyze your subconscious mind map. And if I feel like I can give you the results, because if you have any kind of doubt or fear or negative belief that this program might not work out for you, even 1%, I might have to refuse you, because that is placebo effect. Whatever you expect from the program is what it is going to deliver. So I need to make sure everyone is 100% sure about this particular program. And only if you're 100% sure and you are in the right subconscious conditioning, I will enroll you into my program. So I'll leave the link in the description and in the pinned comment for you guys to check out. Now go around and start observing other people and just see if you can read their patterns, and just talk to them and observe if they agree with you. And you are going to learn something really important. Reading people's subconscious mind is the easiest thing. I'll see you guys in the next video. Up until then, do like, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget that lovely comment that you should be writing in the comment box to show some love. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.